YouTube, what it do, it's your boy out here, and if you're looking to make some damn money, I have a strategy that is, I would say, it's like roughly 75-80% profitable, and it's changed my life with trading, man. It really, really has. I'm nowhere where I want to be. I still have way more room for improvement as far as entry. It's not easy. This trading game is not easy, but I just wanted to outline, and I got this all ready for you guys. As far as like each day, you know what I mean? We can go way back here and really look at the profitability rate as far as what you would make, or at least, tick-wise, what you would really be making and if it's profitable or not, right? So, number one, I have made a video about this on the past. You can go check out my other videos. Make sure to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on this content. I make videos every day, so there's that. But today, for example, okay? So what I do, and I'm just gonna show you pretty roughly here. You can go watch the other video if you want to see more, but what I do is I take the 15-minute candle, okay? So we're talking 9:30. I use New York Stock Exchange. There is other ones you can use. I am not skilled in that because I don't use that. You know what I mean? I don't trade at 3 in the morning, and I don't trade, I think the other ones at like midnight. I don't trade those ones. I trade 9:30 a.m. Works perfectly for me. That's what I prefer. That's what I do. You could do whatever you want to do. As the Hodge twins would say, you could do whatever the F you want to do. I don't care what you do, as long as you're making money. And this works almost every single time at 9:30 a.m. to like 10 o'clock. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. That's okay. And sometimes we don't trade, and that's okay. That's completely fine. This stuff is not easy, and a non-trading day is not a bad day. So let's look at today, for example. Today is August 6th, one day before your boy's birthday. So if you are watching this, make sure to wish me happy birthday. But I'm just kidding. But let's see. So we have the 9:30 a.m., which is right here. I already marked everything out for you guys. So this is the candle at 9:30 to 9:45, which means, and I want you guys to understand candlesticks a little bit just before I go a little bit further here. Each candlestick on this time frame represents 15 minutes. So for example, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15, 15, 15, so on. Right, so every single one of these, for example, this is at 2:15, 2:30, 2:45, 3. Just so you guys get an example of what that is. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I set my highs and my lows, which obviously you can see right here, high and low of the candle, and that is including the wick, okay? That's not just the body, that's including the wick. That's what we do. All right, so, and then what I do is I go to the 5 minute, and I normally watch. I sometimes will check, I watch everything. I watch the 1 minute, I watch the 5 minute, 15's already set in stone, so I don't really worry about that after the 15 minute has already formed. So let's go to 9:50 and see what happens, okay? So as you guys can see, it has completely engulfed, like it's completely closed out of this line, out of the top wick, out of the high, the high of the 15-minute candle. That is a sign for me with my strategy that we are going to be going at FI. And this works for the NQ as well, and I know a lot of people, including myself, it moves a lot quicker than the ES does. So whatever you prefer to use, it's really just, it's all preference based. You're gonna learn your own, way of going about things. You'll learn your own strategy. You can use this one if you want, but this is entertainment purposes, right? This isn't like, me teaching you or anything. This is entertainment. So you can do whatever the F you want to do, right? So what we do is we close above this, right? And this will be my entry point right here. I traded NQ today, so I did not trade ES today, but I'm probably gonna go back to, I like doing both, honestly. But it closed out. What does that tell us, right? So if it closes out above the high, it's most likely gonna be a buy for the day. If it closes out underneath the low, it is most likely gonna be a put for the day, and we're gonna be moving downwards. I'm telling you, each and every damn time it works, man. And not every single time, so don't think you're gonna be a millionaire. Strategy, the strategy is one thing, but entering is another, and figure out entry points, where are the fair value gaps. These are things are all we have to, develop on this channel, as far as just like where your fair value gaps are. And this strategy works, bro, I'm telling you. All right, we're gonna look at it right here, okay? So 5 minute comes out. If you had entered right when this candle had, formed right here, what would have happened, right? You would have immediately been in a loss, correct? So it comes down, and let's just check, for example. Let's just see if there is any 1 minute fair value gaps at all within this. Sorry, it moves it all around. And if you hear my dog eating in the background, I apologize. He's a hungry boy here. So 806, so we're gonna go down to, it was right here. So we see right here, like we had talked about, it completely completely closed out above that wick, and it came down. So let's just see, for example, there actually is a little bit of a fair value gap right here. So let's just draw that out from what I'm seeing, just from the 2 seconds of being in here. A little bit of a gap right there. So actually, it works almost perfectly. So what you could have done, right, if you don't really want to risk, losing too much. Obviously the ES moves differently than NQ does, but, my stop loss normally would have been around this range anyway, so technically you could have gotten stomped out, like depending on where your, stop loss was, how much you're trying to lose. I always say, if you're getting into a prop firm, you want to be able to, pass your account within a couple weeks. You don't want to be doing it for 2-3 months and then blow it and blow 100 in the process. You don't want to do that either. But as you can see, right, what does it do? It comes down. The 1 minute does not close underneath that fair value gap. And what does it do? It heads right back up again into this range up here. You would have taken your profit, if you were smart, right about there, right? When you see the number you want to see. For some of you it might be $200, for some of you it might be $500. You would have made plenty of money today, okay? So let's go on to yesterday. And I'm telling you, every damn time, guys, okay? Not every time, as I said, but majority of times. All right, so we are on the 15 minute on yesterday, August 5th, 2025. Low and high of the, sorry, I might be doing that wrong here. Where's the 9:30? Right here, 9:30. So 9:30, 15 minute. That's the this is the high. If I can damn open the thing, there we go. So this is at 9:45. This is at 9:30. So high, low. Okay. So let's see what happens here. Let's go into the 5 minute. We already set up the 15 minute, and now we gotta find it again because Ninja Trader is annoying as hell. All right. So right here, what happens? Exactly what I tell you guys every single time is going to happen. I'm telling you guys, just backtest this strategy. Please backtest it and come back with the damn results. It's amazing. So what we're gonna look at, right? What does it do? It closes out underneath. What do you look at that? It closes out underneath the low on the 15 minute, right? So you could have entered at the end right here. What would have happened? It would have rose back up. I always like to check out the second candle. Personally, that's a personal preference. I like to always see it close out and see what happens on that next candle, because sometimes they're just grabbing liquidity. Sometimes that's just how it is, and it'll go flying back up. It can happen. It has happened. I've gotten stomped out. I can't even tell you how many times. It's always good having that second level of confirmation or confluence that, it's continuing to head back down, in the downtrend is pretty strong. So there's that, right? So let's just check and see if there was any 1 minute gaps up here at all. Momento, August 5th. So we're gonna go way up here again. All right, where's August 5th? Dang, this thing's got me all effed up. All right, right here. So let's just see, for example, if there was any really gaps. A little one right there. I don't even know if you would consider, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of a gap. So if you go right here, for example, there's a little bit of a gap right there. So it would make sense if you had jumped in down here, it came up a little bit, it tested this the low of that candle as well, which for some of you guys, that would be like the perfect opportunity to jump back in, to jump back in for a put all the way down. So, within that line right here, you could have jumped in and you would have made a substantial amount of money coming all the way down here if you would have held that for a long time, which really wasn't that long of a time. That was from, you entered here, say for example 10 to 10:47, you would have made absolute utter bank. Okay, so we're going to the next day, and I'm only showing you this because I want you to see that you can genuinely become profitable with time with this strategy. Again, it's not something that you're going to be profitable at a millionaire like all these guys will tell you overnight. So forget that. Get that out of your head. Don't think about it. Let it go. Just move into it knowing, hey, I got a good strategy. I'm going to see how it works out, and let's go for it, okay? If you guys want to step by step on, what firms to use, that type of thing, I could do that as well. But let's go to the 4th. All right. So we have the 9:30 candlestick, which is the low, and the high is right here. Okay, I want to take this out, And we are gonna bring this bad boy like that. So this obviously was a very, very heavy buying day. That's clear and evident, right? So this is a 15-minute. We're gonna go change it to the 5-minute. And technically it still works even in these higher trend days, which is crazy. So, all right, if I can find this thing. Look how big that's crazy. Look how big that day was. So much profitability if you were to buy right there, damn. But, all right, so if we look at it, what does it do? Even though it's flying up and it has a lot of high buying power, right? The buyers are in control, clearly. It does close out above that 15-minute candle, regardless of how it moved, right? And if you had jumped in right here, you would have come down, tested the line a little bit right here. If you were in it, you still would have been in it. You would not have hit your stop loss unless it was very small. And look, you just held it as long as you possibly can. Let's just say you were smart and you got out right here. Profitability, baby. Profitability right there. Okay, next day. Like I'm telling you guys, it really does genuinely work for the most part. I'm not saying you guys are going to enter at the right time either, because it's very difficult. It's not easy, okay? It's really not. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's going to take you a long time. I'm still learning, and I've been in it for a while. All right, so 7:30. That was on 7:31. So let's check 7:30. I'm just going to keep going at it and see how much profitability we have here. So that was at 3 p.m. This looks like a day. It was very choppy. Didn't really move very much, so which is fine. 7:30. So we're looking at the 9:30 candlestick, which is, wow, didn't move at all really, which means there's normally bigger moves in the afternoon, which I'll explain that in a minute. So 9:30 candlestick. So let's set these up real quick. Again, like just watch this video 100 damn times and you'll learn. I'm telling you, watch this video as many times as you can, and whenever it does, this stuff works. All right, so we're looking at the 9:30 candlestick. As you could tell, it really genuinely did not move very much, but all right, there's the high, and we're putting a horizontal line on. Make sure I got the right candlestick here, right there. Okay, so 9:30. So let's just see. And again, it's not always gonna work out, but we're gonna find out and see, okay? So this is the high and the low. Let's see what happens on the 5-minute here. And again, it didn't really move very much, so let's see. And again, I'm telling you, this Ninja Trader confuses the crap out of me. All right, so where were we? We're at right here. Boom, 7:30, sorry, yeah. All right, let's open this bad boy. So we got 11 a.m. All right, so right here. This is a day where it's just, obviously, you could tell it's pretty choppy. It didn't move very, very much, which is fine. You know, there's going to be days like that, okay? So at 10:20, we see that it's completely closed out at that candle. What we have done, boys, we would have went in for a buy because it is showing you that, and that is there's confluence, right? Again, not always going to work in your favor. It could have stomped out and went down here, and you would have been stomped out and have been over with your day right there, right? But if you went to buy right there, came down a little bit, got out at the top right here. You don't need crazy holds. You don't, like, unless it's completely and utterly going your way on choppy days, I don't hold long at all. There's no need to, you know? It ended up coming up way up here, which is perfect. That's crazy. That's a good amount of profit right there. Ended up coming down and closing beneath this, which would have told me immediately we're doing a break of structure. It came underneath that line of the high, and it completely came back down to the low. And it did a 360 at that point too. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what the market's doing. You're not ever gonna really know, to be frank. I mean, like, there's good guesses, that's for sure. Let's just do one more day here, and then I'm gonna end this video. But I want you guys, like I said, to get as much experience as you can with this, because like I said, it's changed my life. All right, so 7:28. We were just 7:29, so let's go 7:28. One more day here. All right, 7:28. We are gonna go to, where the heck is it? All right, right here. All right, let's see what happens on this, boys. Okay. So 9:30 candlestick appears to be right there. So we're gonna get our horizontal line, right? You can get this on Ninja Trader, by the way. If you want to start practicing and seeing, you know, what trades you would have made, that's probably gonna have to be TradingView, because I mean, I think that Ninja Trader is like $50 a month to do like back testing. It's ridiculous. So especially for beginner traders here. So 9:30, boom, the boom. I think TradingView, by the way, is like $15 compared to 50. So just to let you guys know, FYI. So this was a day, I don't know, let's check on 5-minute, right? Let's see. Like I told you, it's not always gonna work out, and that's okay. It doesn't have to always work out, it just has to be good enough, right? So 7:28, where the heck? Okay, we were way back here, dang, okay. Looks like we were right there, all right. I don't know why NinjaTrader does that sometimes, but that's all right. So we're going to go to the 930 and the 945-ish points, which is right here. Let's see what happens. This is a day you would have completely lost. You know what I mean? Especially if you didn't wait for that second candle, right? Like I told you guys, like, so if you went in right here and it closed out above, I would have thought, even myself, like it most likely would have been a buy for the day, right? Did not do that. Ended up being second candle, came down and closed out underneath that line. And if you had waited for that second candle, you would have known damn well right there, we're not going to continue upwards. It closed out underneath that line again. So it comes down, test. It might have been like a fair value gap right here. And technically, if your stop loss was big enough, you would have been fine. I don't really want to change the 1 minute because it's going to get me all sideways. But yeah, came back down, came back up, didn't even go past that line at all. Comes back down, boom, boom. You would have lost if you didn't wait for that second candle. That's why I tell you guys, it's like, it's a good strategy, but you also have to wait. And like, that's where I told you, like, experience and, you know, the strategy is one thing, but having the experience to back that strategy up is everything. You know, knowing, you know, to, hey, like, I probably should wait and just make sure, have confirmation, right? There's been many days where I'll go in just to go in and it kills me every single time. So I generally hope this video helped you, man. Make sure to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more, please make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on this content. And I will see you guys on the next video.